most of you know me from pimping donuts outside, but I actually do call tracking business as well. But if you haven't had donuts yet, there's more donuts out there, so please go help yourselves. We're also giving away some headphones, which is today, end of today, that draw is happening, so put your business cards in there. We'll draw that at the end of the day, and we promise we won't force ourselves to win, but somebody else should win them. There's Samsung headphones and Apple headphones, so end of the day, the boxes are going around, put your cards in there.
I'm David Coleman Jones. I work at Autotrader in the UK. We're the number one automotive marketplace in the UK. My role within AutoTrader is looking after our pay-as-you-go or pay-per-listing products. So that's if myself or Ryan want to sell our motorbike or our car, that comes through my business area, or also for small traders or professional sellers that they don't want to commit to a contract because they might not sell very many cars, or they might do it frequently, infrequently. So that all comes through our pay-per-listing business, which I look after.
Cool. So we work with loads of companies around the world. We work with property portals, all kinds of classified sites. We work with Zoopla, we now work with REA, we work with AutoTrader, we work with Immobiliare, we work in every geography basically. And a lot of our partners work closely with us, or sometimes they'll just take our technology and think they know what to do. But we actually have a lot of knowledge, and it's really nice to work with companies who want to learn from best practice of what we've done. And we're still a fairly small company, bigger than we once were, but we're able to move quite fast. We do a lot of A/B testing with customers, so we know what works and what doesn't work. And we provide call masking, call tracking, and analytics to the guys at AutoTrader. We've worked together for a long time, so it's a great partner for us to be able to try new ideas. Obviously, the scale you guys are at, which we go into details, it's harder for you to move as fast as we do, but a lot of companies don't move at all. You know, they're just in the business of keeping up with people, and it's nice to work with people who are innovative and want to do new things. So I'll let you explain your side of things there.
Yeah, so as I said, the pay-as-you-go business that we've got covers both consumers and traders, but we've also got, the majority of our business is trade subscription model. So on the trade subscription side, we work with iovox to provide call tracking and analytics to our trade customers. It's really important for us as a marketplace, as many of you guys will attest to, that we start to, or we continue to demonstrate great value to our customers. I'm not saying this is going to be the case forever, but right now our dealers find that calls are their single most valuable lead.
I'm saying it's going to be the same forever.
You might have a different opinion. I don't think it will. But as technology moves on, that's linking those calls with chat, with SMS, which we're also working with iovox on, and also how do you attribute that to the value that we deliver to our customers. So that's kind of core to what we do on call tracking. And then for consumers, we provide a call masking service. So this is something quite unique in the UK. If you are listing your car privately with us, we will mask 100%, we'll mask all of your numbers. It's a mandatory product. We actually originally launched this probably 7 years ago with iovox. It's an optional product, and the uptake was quite small. We then made the decision to say, hey, one of the most important things for consumers is that they trust AutoTrader as a platform, and we don't want our consumers getting nuisance calls, so let's mask every single number. It also allows us to provide a call whisper, which is, hey, this call's coming from AutoTrader, this is a lead from AutoTrader. It prepares the seller ready to talk about the vehicle they're selling, but more importantly, it gets our brand out there every single time that the seller receives a call. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's great for us. We deliver millions of whispers all over the world every single week, and that's great marketing, great branding, but also working with people who actually want to protect their customers and deliver less calls sometimes than more calls,
yep,
and have actual integrity in the business is awesome. A lot of our customers, we got millions of calls, and it's amazing. The US is worse than anywhere in the world for spam calls. But it's very painful for people when they put their number online, and then obviously everybody wants to sell everything else other than buy their car. So
yeah, we do sometimes get customers that say, I've listed my car on AutoTrader and I'm getting loads of nuisance calls. The first question we ask is, did you also list it on Gumtree? And when they say yes, we say your nuisance calls are coming from Gumtree. It's not possible for them to come through AutoTrader. So
and it's nice to hear a whisper at the beginning, so they know it's
they know it's
what they sell as well.
Exactly. And on the trade seller side, as I said, we track calls to our main website and apps, but also we power about 3,500 trade customers' websites in the UK. So where we have trade sellers who just have a website with us, and as part of that service with iovox, the call tracking comes through both their websites and our own. We've got kind of 3 core channels. So we've got the used dealers, and on their product page, the number will be there, and when they call that through, we'll track it and give the details back to the dealers. We've also got the dealer website area, which again is optional. So both the used and the dealer website is optional. But then we also more and more are presenting new cars to our buyers. On the new car platform, it's mandatory that you have call tracking. We see this as being a product that we're probably going to go full mandatory with, so that we can demonstrate better value to our customers. All of them are mobile enabled as well, so they can get text and interact with their customers that way.
Yeah, we're seeing an increase in the amount of people who want to communicate in different ways as well, which is great for us as well, because we can't if people want to talk via text, we support that as well. Anything we can do.
Yeah.
We're talking about scale here as well. You guys have got your results out today, so you might want to address that. They're pretty good. I look at all the results from our customers, and they're doing good. It's good to talk about. So these stats are up there, obviously.
Yeah. So we've got about 200 salespeople in the UK, but if you add the service team in, it's more like 300 people. They're a mixture of field-based and office-based account support for our customers. We've got over 600,000 client sellers a year on average, which is the business area that I kind of take most of my time focusing on, and over 13,000 customers in terms of trade customers. All of that accumulation of kind of scale means that we have to have really agile sort of data that's self-serve, that's easy for our customers to access. We can't have, even though we've got 300 people who can service the customers, we can't have the data being manually looked at. So the API we have with iovox is built into all of our tools, so customers can see their analytics directly themselves via our performance dashboard. Results-wise, pretty good. Came out today, still showing strong revenue growth. I think the UK market is probably starting to slow a little bit, and we see that in advance typically, but our model allows us to continue to show great value to our customers, the customers who want to win in the marketplace, and the ones who will use more and more services from AutoTrader. So we've got strong revenue growth of 8% and operating profits now at 69%, so pretty profitable.
For a company that size as well, it's great. We work with small companies like Zoopla. We're small, we started with them, to watch them grow is phenomenal. But when you're already at that scale, to be able to show continued growth, it's pretty good in this market. So we're having a conversation about value demonstration, about sort of what are you trying to prove to dealers. It's obviously a competitive field. You guys are still way ahead of everybody else in the market, but you've got to stay there. So what are some of the things you're actually looking to achieve and change?
Everyone's talking about it at this conference, talking about it more generally. For us, it's we kind of have a 3 horizon sort of strategy, and horizon number 1 is kind of getting better at our core and kind of improving our products at the core, and kind of how can we accelerate value to our customers. Horizon 2 is how do we become to new cars what we are to used cars. So make sure that we offer outstanding products to our buyers for new cars as well as used. And then over in Horizon 3, which we kind of see as years more than anything, but it could be closer. Some of the things we're doing are getting closer, is around the transaction. So with tracking and analytics, the transaction is really the key. We can use the core tracking analytics to better enable our conversations with customers around this is a super hot lead. Help them prioritise their leads, because we can link them across different lead types with chat, SMS, email and calls, and also things like half our dealers will receive hundreds and hundreds of email leads or phone call leads, and they just don't answer them, and it's crazy. They're kind of too busy, on the forecourt, or they're not thinking about it in the right way, or they're not working on a systematic way to answer leads. So we use the tracking product to go along and say, hey, you're not answering your calls, you're missing opportunities for sales. And it's quite powerful in that respect.
It's so basic, but we see that all the time. We see people whose marketing department advertise in the evening, TV, newspapers, whatever,
Yeah.
and there's no staff answering phones, and then they're like, this marketing campaign was dead. Well, you got 300 phone calls last night, but nobody answered the phone. So.
And I think that's why, chat, and SMS and offline methods of communication will continue to grow. I think in the UK, certainly the UK dealer market, it's just not as well digitised as it needs to be, and our goal as AutoTrader is to massively improve efficiency in the automotive marketplace. So solving these customer problems around leads is really important to us.
That's one of the problems as well. When you've got somebody like us who wants to move super fast, you guys want to move fast, and then you are way ahead of your customer base. So,
but more often than not, I'm not just saying this because I'm on stage, right? But more often than not, the iovox team will come to us with ideas that we just can't move quick enough to implement, and it's a constant kind of battle. We've got a roadmap packed full of things, and even though the past couple of days, Ryan's like, "Oh, you should do this, you should do this." I'm like, "I know," but I've also got a million other things we need to do. So, but now we're taking a real big focus on how we can get better at demonstrating lead value.
And the pain of knowing that you've got to then drag those customers. Some of them are in the dark ages still, and take them along on that journey as well is difficult too. We've talked about a lot of this already, we've glossed over this one. But in terms of calls being important?
Yeah, we've just done a research study. We do actually quite a lot of research studies directly with our customer base, and we kind of split our customers up based on their region within the UK. We've got kind of 4 kind of key regions, and then a 5th kind of squad. We call them squads that look after our customers. And we've done a recent research study to understand what lead types are most important to different customer sets. All of them have said calls are the most important right now, and walk-ins, which actually for me is a reflection of the lack of digitisation in the UK marketplace, really. But because it's important, I think it will continue to be important, and therefore we need to demonstrate that calls that we've got the right analytics in place to deliver value to them. So.
Not just in calls, though. I mean, in things you guys do a lot of stuff with your customers. We work with a lot of companies who just think they know what their customers want, but they don't actually go out and actually spend time figuring it out. And sometimes we've helped customers do that, and we found out that actually there's a 40% answer rate. That's all you need to fix. You just need to, when nobody answers, go to somebody else. But a lot of the times they're super basic, but unless you're actually communicating with your customers, you're not going to really know what the problem is. So for you guys, it's great to see a company your size, again, going out, hitting the road, and actually find out what actually is going on.
Yeah, we do that, and we invite our customers in for masterclasses regularly. Pretty much every day we have customer groups into our office. We renovated our offices and built a big head office in the UK, in Manchester, for that reason, mainly so that customers can come in, experience AutoTrader, and get a better understanding and tell us what their problems are, and workshop them out to fix issues that they've got. Yes, we are. Well, we covered this before. Brand recognition is really important. We also use the call analytics to train our customers. So we'll ring them up and kind of listen to some of their calls and help them with how they're talking to their customers to make sure that not just AutoTrader, but our customers are benefiting from understanding how to be more transparent to our consumers and give them the information they need.
There's some stats here in terms of calls answered.
Yeah.
You go through these.
235,000 calls a month means that we get mentioned 235,000 times to our consumers. So that's great because we've got the call whisper.
And we started on the consumer side, as you mentioned, it's quite small, and then we grew and grew, and we're doing that now on the trade side, which is awesome.
It's huge. I mean, 9,000 dealers settle with iovox numbers out of our 13,000. We do want to make that 100%. So we're thinking mandatory, but some customers not all customers will want it, but it's still great that we've got 75% of our customers on board.
And only 1% on the consumer side have actually questioned it, right?
Yeah.
So that's good too. So we're going to do Q&A now. Again, wireless earbuds. Don't forget to mention the donuts either, but we have donuts and wireless earbuds.
Okay. We actually have some questions.
Sure.
So we'll bring up a slide, that'd be fantastic. The first question is, what do you think of eBay's acquisition of AutotraderUK and a possible threat to AutoTrader? Yeah, you're going to get some of these questions.
Yeah, I think it was probably it was a good play for eBay to acquire Motors. We've just done a recent JV with Cox Automotive in the UK to tackle some of the problems around wholesale B2B. So we know the Cox guys quite well, and when you speak to the MD, ex-MD of Motors, his view is it was really hard trying to compete with AutoTrader in the UK. So hence why they sold Motors. So I think it helps obviously eBay in terms of their proliferation in our marketplace, but we've always had competitors and always will, and it's great for us, I think.
Yes. So some dealers or estate agents, this is maybe a few, right, require their own numbers to be displayed. How do you track ROI? Can you still measure it?
You can, it's difficult. We have a mobile app now which is designed for outbound calls and inbound calls from anywhere. So we've just launched 2 weeks ago a partnership with Zoho, and it's normal phone calls, so you don't need our phone numbers, you don't need VoIP client. You basically just have a traditional call in and out of your cell phone, and then you can tag those calls, share them with your CRM system. It's pretty cool. It's free as well, unless you're integrated with your CRM, in which case we're charging you. Other than that, it's free. It's pretty cool.
And what call volume or team size does it make sense to work with you guys?
Team size is kind of irrelevant, but call volume isn't. If you're not driving calls, don't use us, because we'll just prove you're not driving calls. We've done that without whispers with people before, where we've said, okay, let's see volumes and then turn on a whisper, because there's nothing worse than one call a month and you're like, hey, you should pay us. But we've worked with tiny companies as well that have actually generated a lot of calls. We still do. We work pro bono with some small companies because we believe in that they're going to grow, and they just need that branding effort. With Zoopla, nobody knew who Zoopla were, and then we put whispers on every time people answer the phone. This lead was brought to you by Zoopla. All of a sudden, the real estate agents knew who they were. Not that they were tiny, but they were number 8 in the marketplace. So it doesn't really matter in terms of your team size. We've worked with one-man bands, but it does matter. If you're not driving calls, don't come and see us.
Which makes sense. How do you deal with call tracking in WhatsApp?
WhatsApp is difficult because it's expensive. So a lot of people expect WhatsApp, the new thing they're doing, to be free. It's not. It's a transactional cost. So, if everyone who wants to use it wants to do this and say, hey, I'm going to WhatsApp somebody, and then the business finds out they have to pay a significant amount for each conversation, each message, that's kind of one of the hardest things. And trying to negotiate with Facebook is not something I'm going to do successfully in any point soon.
What is the main value, if you had to choose one, that you've gotten from iovox? And can you provide an example of what quantifies it?
Yeah, so I'm kind of biased because this is my area on the consumer side, but for me, probably the biggest value gain we've had is enhancing trust for our consumer sellers, and the call masking products massively did that. We saw when we first were sort of talking about this 6 years ago, we started using Trustpilot to measure the ratings on the website. It was around about 6.3, 6.4, something like that, our rating. And over the time that we implemented call masking, which we knew was a massive issue for our sellers getting nuisance calls, that's gone up now to 9.1, 9.2 on Trustpilot. So we saw a genuine impact with our consumer sellers by providing this product.
Excellent. A couple of quick questions. Is voice still the primary form of communication?
Depends on the industry, honestly. It depends on the value. If you're buying something cheap, not at all. If you're buying a house, a car, an expensive guitar, yes. And in terms of mobile has made it take off. That's why Google are investing in this space now, because mobile has made it easier than ever to call. So call volumes are actually going through the roof. Will it last forever? I think it'll change to different mechanisms, so you won't be using your SIM card maybe. We don't care. We're happy for anybody to communicate via text or via voice of any sort. So it's a continuous growth for us at the moment.
Okay. How do you measure and improve unanswered leads?
So we've done a lot of stuff like this, but it depends on your customer base again. You can do things like an email alert. So we have even certain branches which will say if our call answer rate drops below 75%, send an email to the head office. If nobody answers within 20 seconds, forward that on to somebody else. You can do things like, we have a system where if you send somebody sends a text message in, it can go to an email alias, and then the first person that replies, that message is then closed off to anybody else. So if you've got sales guys even in the evening who want to communicate with a buyer or a seller, they can actually do that in real time. That drives competition. All of those things, visibility drives competition, visibility, when you can actually see what's going on. We had one customer with a case study in France who had a receptionist during business hours answer the phone 40% of the time. How do you know that? You don't know that. So just being able to have this stat, which is like, hey, another missed call, just that change made her answer the phone 80% of the time because her boss is like, hey, what the hell are you doing?
Fantastic. So, Ryan, David, thank you very much for taking the time. Love what you guys do. Good luck with your Autotrader.
Cheers,
And thanks very much.
Thank
Thank you.